So this is an interesting topic I've been mulling over for a while. And some of the information in this is going to be pertinent to people of any age, and some of the information is pertinent to people who are 30 plus because of the stages in our life that we are at. So the first thing I can say is that progression in skateboarding is all about momentum. It's all about building momentum and keeping momentum. So it's a lot easier to lose momentum than it is to gain. The way I look at progression in skateboarding is it's kind of like you're walking up the down escalator, because as you get older, we get weaker, we lose energy, we get a little bigger and heavier. So everything starts to go to our disadvantage. And if we are not vigilant and constantly trying to gain upward momentum and run up that escalator, we're just going to ride down it. So I also want to take an opportunity to answer a question that I get a lot, which is, what was it like to get back into skating after quitting for a long time? And I never actually quit skateboarding. What happened was I developed quite early on, at 25 when I had kids, a very busy, very adult life that required me to work a lot and be at home a lot. So skateboarding went to the back burner. I just really wasn't able to focus on it. So I never stopped. I just basically slowed down and didn't focus on it. And I would lose, like 5 tricks every year. And it just became more and more of a struggle, to the point that I basically didn't skate in winters anymore. Even summers, sometimes I would work so much that I actually didn't get out skating for like a month at a time in the summer, which seems unfathomable to me now. But that was just how it was at that time. However, now, as a person with kids that are a little bit bigger and a job that's more flexible, I'm self-employed so I can make my own hours, I'm able to find the time to skateboard again. And starting the channel and also having a dry, warm place to skate last winter, not the one we had but the one before, really reignited a spark in me. So I never stopped. It just sort of went dormant because it was difficult. When you don't skate a lot, it just becomes difficult. It hurts more. You don't have the wherewithal to push through the slams anymore. And you just hurt the next day. So why would you want to go do that? And the only reason you want to go do that is because you gain momentum and build that addiction to skateboarding again. So now let's get into what it takes to progress. So I can only speak from my experience, but basically, if I only skate on the weekends, it's not enough. So first things first, I have to get at least one midweek skate in. I try to skate both days on the weekends, and nowadays I will go after 7 or 8 o'clock p.m., or I will go at 7 a.m. if I have to. Basically, I make it a top priority to fit it into my life anywhere I can. I will take a break in the middle of the day and go skate during work, or I will skate on my way home after work. So the midweek skates are not always the most satisfying skates, but here's what they are, is they are maintenance, they are momentum building. So while I'm a little bit tired and I'm not doing my best tricks in the middle of the week, what I am doing is I'm keeping sharp. There's not a long lag time between when I get onto my board on the weekend and have more energy. So getting out on your board regularly is about staying sharp. Now the next thing, and a lot of skateboarders are resistant to this, but is doing extra exercises. I find I do a lot of extra exercises, and one of these days I'm actually going to make some videos about the exercises I do, just some real basic ones you can do at home without having to be a gym rat. As you can see, I'm not much of a gym rat. I just do enough to keep me strong and toned and doing well on my board. So skating regularly, exercising. Now the next thing, diet. I mean, this is really important, diet and lifestyle. If you're out drinking all night and then you're eating fast food the next morning and for every meal every day, you're not gonna skate well. Like, maybe you could get away with that in your teens and early 20s. You are not gonna get away with that as an adult. So we've got skating regularly, exercise, good diet, good sleep hygiene. That's such a weird saying, but it makes sense. I actually have terrible sleep hygiene. I sleep about 6 hours a night. I just can't seem to go to bed early enough, and then I wake up at 6 a.m. no matter what. So sleep is my weak spot. And lastly, what I want to get into is redefining progression. If I base progression based off what I was able to do at my peak, I am never progressing. I'm going to be constantly disappointed. So progression begins at any time that you have had a lapse in skating. So maybe you haven't skated for 2 weeks or a month, 6 months, 10 years. But when you get back on that board, whatever your current ability is at that moment, progression begins from that point on. So progression is not static, it is dynamic, it's always changing. So right now, because I've been skating so much, my progression is based off, I don't know, a year ago, a bunch of time ago. My progression is based off what I was able to do when I stepped on my board. In fact, actually, when my progression is based off is actually probably my knee injury this summer, because I actually basically couldn't skate for 2 months. So when I got back on it and started healing, then I can base my progression off that point again. And one more thing I want to get into is how I like to structure my skates. And because I skate so regularly, I kind of have the freedom to structure them a little bit more. When I don't skate much, I just focus on my staples. I just do the tricks that I can do easily and have fun doing. When I am skating regularly, I maybe do my staples in the beginning of my session and at the end of my session, but somewhere in the middle there, I'm going to take some time to actually start working on tricks, because you won't ever learn new tricks if you don't start working on new tricks. But you also have to work on the old tricks to keep them, or you will be progressing in one area and regressing in another. So that's another thing, right? Like, you can't keep all the tricks you're not trying just because you used to be able to do them. You have to work on the new ones and the old ones. So that now has probably been a whole bunch of talking, and I'm gonna get out there and spend a little bit of time showing you the tricks I'm working on these days. You guys get to see a lot of the tricks that I have under my belt already, but today I'm just gonna show you some of the basic stuff that I'm like trying to get back and working on, because I got a lot of bucket list tricks. All right, I'm at least 20 or 30 tries deep, and I've been trying them for the last couple days too. So there's gonna be no great moment of redemption in landing this trick. I'm gonna move on to other tricks. One more. Maybe there is. That was about 4 or 5 tries later, so let's move on. And that's just as good as those are right now for my current ability and comfort level. If I get any slide on those sorts of tricks whatsoever, it's a win for me. So fakie ollie switch crooked grind is not a today trick. I'm not feeling comfy on them. So you gotta know when to fold them too. In the last 5 months, I've only done one of those that actually slid. That wasn't one of them. Let's give that one more try. For the purposes of this video, those are good enough. Let's see what else I've been working on. slid and rolled away. A little slow, but it's progress. So that nollie flip nose was totally a lucky first try. And I got a date with my wife, so I think I'm gonna try one more, but you know, I don't know if I can really beat what I just did back there anyways. Whoa! So I used to do those a lot back in the day, like on curbs and low ledges, but it's been years since I started trying them, and I just started trying them again this week. So progress again. But let's try one last bucket list trick that kids these days are so good at, and I just can't seem to get them. Yes! Have you guys seen this kid rolling around? He wants to be in the video so bad. Anyways, there, did it. Okay, it's time for me to go be a responsible human and meet my wife. And be, you know, just a generally like slightly less selfish person than I otherwise want to be. So, I hope this helps shed a little light on what I've been doing to progress these days. Progressing after 30 is not easy. Like, you can take it from me, it takes a lot of work. It's coming at the expense of work often. My kids are probably gonna hate skateboarding because dad's just skateboarding all the time. Selfish old skateboard dad. Anyways, all I'm saying is it takes a lot of work. I'm truly grateful to be having this skateboard renaissance of mine. And you know, it's not just me, I see it everywhere, right? Look at the comments on the channel, look how many people are getting back into it and finding joy in this thing once again. And again, a reminder, the key is momentum. We're just looking to build that momentum again. When you get the momentum and when you redefine progression, you're gonna be able to find the joy again. So, I'm grateful to have found that. I hope you're finding it. And thanks for watching. And hopefully this little guy gets his 10 seconds of fame. Okay, thanks for watching. See you guys.